So these human toads are Walter Goodman, Savannah LaFever, and Kayla Stemler. Back in August, a 14-year-old girl known as MJ was rushed to the hospital after her father, Walter, or Sam Goodman, called 911. She lived with her father, Walter, her stepmother, Melissa Goodman, her adult stepsister, Savannah, and Savannah's partner, Kayla. MJ had no contact at all with her biological mother. She'd been living there since spring of 2020, and Kayla moved in during August of 2021. But by 2025, the home looked like this. Walter was suffering from cirrhosis of the liver, and he was awaiting a transplant. Melissa and Savannah were described as extremely obese and nearly bedbound, and Kayla was the only adult leaving the house to go to work. MJ was isolated, she was locked in her room and monitored by cameras. Then came a 911 call on August 21st of this year, and he immediately starts making excuses for how MJ looks, saying, quote, "I have a 14-year-old daughter that she don't barely eat, so she looks really skinny. She's autistic, so if she don't want to eat, she don't eat." When officers arrived, they found MJ so emaciated that she looked like she was the size of a 6 or 8-year-old with visible bones. Her blood sugar level was 24, a level so low that it can cause seizures, coma, or death. She weighed only 35 pounds. Her father admitted that he gave her a wild cherry Pepsi before EMS arrived. When an officer asked where MJ's mother was, all he could say was, "She's a whore." He repeatedly insisted that MJ was only so thin because she never sleeps, but what doctors found once transported to the hospital was that she was in critical condition with severe starvation, multiple organ failure, hypothermia, pressure sores, vitamin deficiencies, osteoporosis and bone fractures, severe muscle wasting and contractures, which is where you're kind of like hunched over and your muscles are so tight because you're just so malnourished. And she had had no medical care since 2020. She had signs of long-term confinement and immobility. Doctors said she had endured months to years of starvation. And when she was finally fed normally in the hospital, she gained nearly 20 pounds in just weeks, proving that she had simply been denied adequate food. She also told nurses that she loved food and was excited to eat, but said, quote, "My dad will be so mad if he finds out I ate this much," end quote. When investigators searched the home, this is what they discovered. According to the criminal complaint, MJ was routinely locked in her bedroom from the outside. She was monitored by cameras, denied food and water as punishment. She was taken to the bathroom only when she was allowed to use the bathroom. She was forced to lie on the floor with no bed. She was yelled at, mocked, and ignored when she cried out in pain. But the most damning evidence came from the toads' text messages. They constantly called her dummy, stupid, idiot, and piece of shit. They said things like, "Make sure dummy's door is locked. Has stupid been laying right? Stupid's crying. She's so stupid. I hate her. I want to karate kick her dumb head." They even said something to the effect of, "I want to roundhouse kick her out of a window," which is ironic given that none of these people look like they've lifted a foot off the ground in years. The 3 adults have all been arrested and charged with chronic neglect of a child, and a 4th suspect is in custody and also expected to face charges. And my guess is that it's Melissa, the stepmother. But the 3 charged suspects made their first court appearance on the 11th, and the judge in the case set their bonds at $150,000 cash bonds for Walter and Savannah, and then $100,000 for Kayla. As for how this abuse was allowed to go on for so long, she was apparently not in school. She did virtual learning during COVID, and then after COVID, she was homeschooled, and she hadn't been brought to a doctor in at least 5 years. So she was confined to this trailer with these people who would refuse to feed her despite there being an apparent abundance of food in the home.